very good afternoon to everybody. My name is Deepak. I'm the founder of Velmenni, and I'm very much excited to be here. So let's start. Look at this picture. This is a scenario of a conference, and what happens if you try to access internet over there? It doesn't work efficiently. Why? There are two reasons behind this. One is the Wi-Fi signal gets congested because there are so many people accessing it at the same time. Another issue is we have a limited bandwidth available with the Wi-Fi's. So there are these two problems. Look at the another scenario. This lady is trying to stream a movie inside an aircraft, but she's not able to do it. Why? Because this guy is consuming all the bandwidth which is available inside an aircraft. That's another issue. So basically with the Wi-Fi based systems, we had a certain bandwidth available with us. So to summarize, we have certain issues with the current wireless system. One is we have a limited spectrum available with us, and this spectrum is getting congested because the number of wireless devices that we are using, it's exponentially have increased in the past few years, and it's going to increase in another few years. So this whole spectrum is going to fill up, and we will not be having a place where we can transmit wireless signals. That's an issue. And another big issue with the radio-based system is we have security disadvantages. We can actually, the radio signal can go beyond a certain reason and somebody can hack it. Other disadvantages, we have a limited bandwidth, as I discussed. And also, it cannot be utilized at several places. It is prohibited. For example, within aviation industry or in a medical healthcare environment. So to solve this problem, we thought of a new solution. And I've used a very creepy slide here, but my solution is inside in this slide. So if you can spot a light bulb here, yes, we are actually utilizing this light bulb to send wireless data. So basically, we are turning the light bulbs into a wireless hotspot. So this technology is known as Li-Fi, and it has several advantages over Wi-Fi-based system. But it complements the whole wireless system. It doesn't replace the radio-based systems. The simplest advantage is much higher speeds. We can go up to 220 Gbps per second kind of a speed with light. That's a theoretical limit. The spectrum is huge. We cannot fill up the whole light spectrum. It is 10,000 times wider than the radio-based spectrum. It can be utilized where the radio frequencies are prohibited. It's very secure because data cannot go beyond a certain reason. Light always remains inside a particular room. So your data cannot go beyond that. And then finally, there is no need to license the light spectrum. It's free. Let's talk about the use cases where we can utilize the technology. One of the use cases within aviation industry where you can transmit data inside an aircraft, like stream movies and all. We can provide alternate network in crowded areas. Also in outdoor communication, you can actually create a wireless network between mobile towers. So we can create a mobile backhaul network for network providing companies. And then finally, we can come into consumer space. This is our product. We have a Li-Fi transceiver, which can actually turn any standard lighting system into a data transmission system. We can go up to 1 gigabit per second with our transceivers and both way communication. Plus, we have integrated the mesh networking protocol with the Li-Fi transceivers. This is our main actually USP. So all these lights inside a room can communicate to each other. That's the advantage. So for example, in smart cities in future, the street lamp network can be utilized to bring data within the cities at much higher speed. So we can basically replace optical cable network. And then finally, we created a Li-Fi router where you can plug your standard Ethernet cable or the optical cable. And then our Ethernet hub connects to the Li-Fi transceivers to bring internet to them. This is we are the two co-founders, me and Saurabh. We are from India. We have experience of building product in past. We have revamped the traffic lighting system in New Delhi. We have till now built 25 products and having experience of doing research. So we have a team of advisors, mainly professors, who is guiding us on the technological level. Plus, we have like certain investors from Europe, so who is helping us in like providing money to do research. And yeah, that's it, I guess. I'm looking forward to your questions. Thank you so much.
How does it work? You say you can go downstream and upstream, so how do I communicate with
so we created a dongle. It's a USB-based device which you can plug into your laptops and the smartphones. It has a uplink channel which uses near infrared region of the light to transmit data, which is invisible to human eyes. So you can have a similar bandwidth in both the channels. For downlink, we use the visible range, and for uplink, we use the invisible range. And it's based upon application to application. In certain environments, you may not require the visible range. So there we can utilize the invisible part of the spectrum and can send data.
So you can use it at night.
Yeah.
Without light.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And also we can dim the light to a certain levels, and it turns into a night lamp kind of a thing, and you can still receive data. Yeah.
Okay.
Could you tell us more about the team and your experience prior to this
Sure.
business?
Prior to this, I have been working with a professor in Indian Institute of Technology. That's one of like the most prominent research institute in India. I'm an electrical engineer, and my co-founder, he's a software engineer. He has been working with Adobe as a computer scientist before. So we are a very young team. We are now 10 engineers in India who's doing research on this. And yeah, I was a research associate, have written some certain papers in robotics, specifically in like self-driving cars, so on that stuff. So from robotics, I moved to this system, and we initially for 2 years we bootstrapped, and we have built several products for bigger companies, which is there in the consumer space. So we know how to actually design a product and build a hardware product. So we do both software and hardware.
So what you're selling is a router.
Sorry?
You're selling a router? Router?
Yes, router.
Whatever
yes,
you say.
router. So that's one of the part of the product, yeah. So we are creating in the future, we'll be creating system on chips which can be integrated within the light bulbs itself. And till now we have an external device which can be plugged to any standard lighting, off-the-shelf lighting bulbs basically, and can turn them into a data transmission system. And it has the networking capability. So exactly like Wi-Fi, you have a seamless network. So if I'm moving from one light source to another light source, I have a seamless connectivity. So our system actually does that part. So yeah.
And how would you connect to the Li-Fi in the first place?
Pretty much standard. So you have an Ethernet cable or an optical cable which is coming. So data should come from your internet service provider. So you bring data through the cable to the main router, and from the router it creates a mesh network of the light, and then each of the light bulbs which is there inside an environment gets connected wirelessly.
And for the device, same thing, just
Through USB. Yeah. Thank you so much.